Dying Light celebrates its 10th anniversary with a more stripped back and focused sequel that better understands what made the series good in the first place. Zombie games come and go, yet few have been able to match the sheer staying power of Dying Light. The secret to its endurance, at least the way I see it, is that it's an open-world zombie series about so much more than just slaughtering zombies within an open world. Between inventive first-person parkour, meaningful weapon crafting, and some pretty gnarly undead enemy degradation, it's no wonder Techland's baby continues to be adored by so many the world over. A decade after the franchise first kicked off, this latest entry is a DLC spin-off turned full-blown sequel, featuring original gruff-voiced protagonist Kyle Crane back in the driver's seat. And though it's true he has a few more mechanical tricks up his sleeve to make Dying Light the Beast feel like its own monster, literally in a lot of cases, it's really the new setting of Castor Woods that gives the game's endless zombie mashing a fresh sense of variety and excitement. True, this is overall a more contained outing than 2022's Dying Light 2 Stay Human, but also one that gets back to basics and is more focused and much better for it. Taking place roughly 13 years following the events of the original Dying Light, the Beast picks up with Kyle Crane following a facility escape after he has spent most of that time being locked up and experimented on by a mysterious evildoer known only as the Baron.
I hope you enjoyed your brief taste of freedom. Let's call it a field test, shall we?
There's no altruistic mission to save the world this time around. Instead, it's all about revenge. And the way Crane sets about going to achieve it is by growing into a bigger, meaner, and more dangerous version of the titular monster these experiments have started to turn him into. In practical terms, this means largely falling into the same familiar gameplay loop franchise veterans will be familiar with, clambering over environments as creatively as possible using first-person parkour, expanding into different areas of the map to lock down safe zones, and trying to survive the night. By this point, it's clear that Techland knows where the franchise's strengths best lie. Tying this all together, however, is just how well the Beast fuses all these returning elements in with the new, which mostly rear their head in the form of Crane's all-new Beast abilities and the location of Castor Woods. Speaking to the latter, I feel confident in saying that Castor Woods is easily the most memorable and diverse to ever feature in a Dying Light game, offering up a wide range of environments that are far more naturalistic compared to what we're used to seeing, between the small, built-up communal area of Old Town, swaths of different farms and swampland, and an entire underground cave system bordering almost all of it. Exploring in Dying Light the Beast is chock full of surprises. Sure, Castor Woods, more closely resembling a nature park as opposed to a full-scale metropolis, does mean that you have to be more thoughtful in your traversal, but the return of both drivable vehicles and Crane's trusty grappling hook ensures players are always equipped for every scenario this new locale allows for. Location is just one example of how Dying Light the Beast successfully brings together elements from both prior main games and their accompanying DLCs. Here, there's no dilly-dallying or confusion about whether firearms will make an appearance, for example. They're here. Similarly, by giving Kyle access to certain trucks littered around the map, venturing to and from the various biomes Castor Woods has to offer is made less cumbersome than it was in, say, Dying Light 2, prior to you receiving the paraglider. While working out how to overcome rock faces, high-up ridges, and soaked cave systems takes a bit of getting used to initially, eventually doing so becomes second nature in a manner that still feels distinct from the urbanized areas. In terms of the Beast's namesake, I feel a tad more conflicted, because while hammering into zombies using all kinds of blunt and sharp weaponry is just as satisfying to pull off as it always was, particularly when enhancing each's damage output and equipping them with mods, the novelty of going beast mode as Kyle quickly wears off. Building up your beast meter and then activating the aggression essentially acts as an instant win button, where blocking and dodging enemies goes out the door in favor of coming at them at great speed, tearing them limb for limb, and just generally unleashing the pent-up aggression Kyle has been storing for all these years. My only real frustration with it is that I wish it was a little more mechanically interesting. True, in addition to your standard skill tree system where you can improve Kyle's movement, weapon abilities, and general survival skills, there's also a dedicated beast tree you can enhance whenever you take down specific hulking bosses called Chimera. This works to make you feel a little stronger incrementally when entering beast mode, but I wouldn't say that the types of attacks I was dishing out in this form differed drastically from the beginning of the game compared to the end. I did come to appreciate how Kyle's beast form would activate by itself in the early hours though, as it smartly encapsulates his inability to control his own instincts at the start of the story. Overall, the narrative in Dying Light the Beast, though perfectly fine for the most part, still suffers from keeping its central supernatural villain almost too far away from the main events Kyle must contend with during the majority of this 20 or so hour story. There's double-crossing and supernatural conspiracy theories sprinkled throughout like the series is known to do, but it was the smaller stories of survival offered to me by the locals that tended to engage me more. The Baron isn't a bad villain per se, and Dying Light the Beast's ending ends with an appropriate amount of bombast, but for me, the story is again just a means to explore new types of areas inventively, making my version of Kyle stronger, more adept, and capable in the process. Dying Light the Beast, with its returned emphasis on creative traversal, flexible combat, and some seriously scary nighttime scenarios for those brave enough to take them on, sees Techland get its beloved open world series back on track, especially for players who felt that Dying Light 2 wasn't as strong as that original 2015 game. While the actual beast elements of the game are a slight letdown from a pure gameplay perspective, it still feels good to hulk out without fear of falling in amongst all the undead hordes. This, combined with what is easily the most diverse setting Dying Light has ever offered in Castor Woods and an overall tighter scope, makes the Beast another solid zombie game worth chewing through. We at All Out Gaming give Dying Light the Beast a 4 out of 5. So there you have it, guys, in terms of our full review for Dying Light the Beast. Are you excited about this one? Be sure to let us know in the comment section below. Then, why not subscribe to the All Out Gaming YouTube channel to stay up to date with even more videos like this. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.